Can you introduce yourself?
Yes, so my name is Daniela Anello. I am CEO of DC Bilingual Public Charter School.
Hola, mi nombre es Gladys Melgar de Méndez.
Mi nombre es Claudia Chávez, tengo 38 años.
Hi, my name is Amaya.
Hi, my name is Cindy Palomo.
Hola, mi nombre es Claudia Saray Méndez.
My name is Sarah, last name Sarah Tiamu. I am the track lead for the most amazing group of fellows, the Immigration Track Life Resettled here at the Policy Institute. I am also the instructional coach in the lower school at Georgetown Day School.
Hola, mi nombre es Betty Méndez.
Hey, my name is Oscar.
Hola, mi nombre es Kevin Vázquez.
I'm a first-generation immigrant from Viña del Mar, Chile, and I have lived, I think, a fair amount of time both in the United States and in Chile. So my immigration story is a little bit like back and forth. Was born there, came here, went back there, came back here. But I've been here for quite a while now.
Okay.
Hace 10 años vine a este país. No me olvido de mi pulgarcito de América.
Soy del Salvador. Emigré aquí en el año 2018.
I immigrated from Colombia in 2013 when I was 3. I came with my parents, both who were documented, and then I got documented once I came here.
I am 17 years old and I came here when I was turning 8.
Soy de nacionalidad salvadoreña e emigré a la ciudad de Washington en el 2008.
I am originally from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. I was born there, and my dad immigrated to Alberta from Nigeria in 1975, and my mom was born in the Ukraine and immigrated when she was 1 year old, and now I have immigrated to the United States, but don't worry, I still have my 2 passports.
Soy de El Salvador y tengo 24 años. Cumplí el 2 de julio de estar en este país.
I'm from El Salvador and I immigrated here in 2018.
Soy originario de El Salvador y emigré a este país en el 2022.
Okay, the biggest challenge I have faced with the immigration system. It's so complicated. It is so complicated. I've been listening to all the fellows over the last couple weeks, and it's not that I'm not proud to be an immigrant. I am very proud to be an immigrant, but I almost want to detach myself from it because it's like we're all human. I hear one of our one of our fellows, Oscar, always talking about equality, and so I just see how complicated immigration is, and that's what's been the hardest part, just adjusting to that as a Canadian living in the United States.
Pues yo vine en el 93 a Los Ángeles, California. Me vine de mojada por tierra y caí presa. Y me sacaron confianza y tuve permiso de trabajo. Y como yo había dejado 4 hijos en El Salvador, estaban pequeños, me regresé otra vez. Me estuve nomás 1 año y medio. Y volví a regresar con 10 años de visa, y después de mis 10 años de visa ya me quedé con mi residencia. Pues le doy gracias a Dios por el privilegio que he tenido, que he gozado de este país.
Due to the current administration, my stepdad recently got deported in around August, and one of my biggest challenges was that I had to force myself to be independent. I had to do a lot of things by myself because my mom also moved back to El Salvador to be with my stepdad. So I forced myself to be independent while also battling with school and work at the same time.
Para obtener, documentos en este país es algo muy difícil, pero Pues yo ya tengo 24 años de estar acá y apenas voy a poder obtener ya pues mis papeles, pero ha sido un proceso casi de 9 años de espera.
The biggest challenge I faced being an immigrant in this country is the way that people look at you when you walk down the street. And half of my family is American, they're white, son gringos. And when I'm with them and I'm walking down the street, I'll get looked at like, oh, what is this little brown girl with long hair, long black brown hair, whatever, doing with this white blonde family? Like, how does it correlate, you know? And it's also just like the racism that I've faced, and how going to school every day, I get really scared, knowing, you know, undocumented family members, knowing undocumented friends, hearing about these stories. It breaks my heart because it's so unnecessary. You know, we're human beings. Some of us, we're just here to find a better life for ourselves, and it hurts. And I think that when I look at the US government and this current administration, it fills me with a lot of rage because it's so dumb and it's so stupid how we're viewed. And I hate it, but you know, it is what it is, so.
My main reason for coming to the US was really, as my dad calls, I am a rolling stone. I just saw the world as my oyster. Again, being the child of 2 immigrants, it was natural that I would travel the world. I didn't intend to stay in Washington, DC, but I met my husband 3 weeks after moving here and kind of got stuck. But initially I moved here on a international traveling visa from the University of Toronto.
¿Cuál fue tu razón por venir a los Estados Unidos?
Mi razón por venir a los Estados Unidos fue, como madre soltera, en mi tercer embarazo, salir adelante porque en el país estaba muy difícil la economía y para darle mejor futuro a mis hijos decidí emigrar.
Bueno, y mi razón primordial por la que pues decidí emigrar a este país pues fue por darle un mejor futuro a mis hijos y por la razón de que en mi país en ese tiempo era un país de mucha inseguridad por tanta violencia.
So moving on to the first question was, what has been the biggest sacrifice you've made here in the United States?
I think that when I think back, I think it's the wanting to fit in, being in a high school in New York and also like close to New York City, but needing to find myself, who am I? I think I tended to not shine my Latino side or my bilingual side. I think I covered it up more to fit in to the more like I think white culture, wanting to get into college, speak a certain way. And so I think it was like trying to hide a little bit of my culture, the way I spoke, the way I dressed, the way that, you know, what made me proud of my culture, like not making it that visible so that I could assimilate and fit in to what I thought was needed for getting into school and doing well in school.
Bueno, mi mayor sacrificio creo que como todo padre o madre, ¿verdad? En este país es trabajar duro para darle un mejor futuro a nuestros hijos y que ellos puedan alcanzar todas las metas que se propongan en su vida.
Mi sacrificio más grande ha sido ser madre soltera de mis 3 hijos y lograr salir adelante y ver que mis hijos no he hecho nada malo hasta el día de ahora, están bien y están estudiando 100% y siento que no he hecho malo con ellos, no.
Pues también trabajé en Los Ángeles, California, trimeando en la factoría de los chinos para darle sostén a mis hijos que había dejado en El Salvador. Pues trabajé duro con grandes sacrificios para mantener a mis hijos en El Salvador y me regresé de año y medio y me fui de vuelta para mi país.
The biggest sacrifice I've had to make is going into my own self and realizing that it's okay to be different. I struggled with that a lot. I don't meet a lot of people that look like me. They might have the same skin tone, but they'll have like a different hair type. But I've had to realize that everybody looks different and it's okay to be different, and I really struggled with that.
What is one memory from your home country that you'll never forget?
One memory of my home country is when my mom was like selling sheep and I was helping her a lot. Like every day she was selling sheep, like trying to make money to fly here. Yeah, I would never forget that. It was like a lot of my memory.
One memory from my home country that I'll never forget is going to the park with my brother and playing the whole day or the whole afternoon and getting home to some delicious pupusas that my mom made and just spending time with them and also spending time with my friends that I really miss them. I don't know how are they doing now or who they have become, but I hope they're doing okay.
There's a lot of memories I won't forget, but the main ones will definitely be the culture and the family that I left behind. I miss them very much, and I love my culture and I will be forever proud of it. And I think that nobody should ever have to force you to change from what you came from or how you are.
Bueno, un recuerdo de mi país, allá en mi país pues son las playas, los mariscos que allá venden. Bueno, hay muchos lugares turísticos que uno puede ir a pasear y esas son de las cosas que uno pues no se puede olvidar de uno del país de donde es uno, pues de las culturas de allá tampoco.
So my favorite thing about being back in Chile is the sobremesa. It's this idea that we can have a meal and then no one moves. You sit at the table and you just talk and laugh and share stories. Y el tiempo se va volando. And before you know it, it's time for the next meal and you're just there in community together as a family. And I feel like it's a beautiful memory. I miss it so much. And as much as I try to replicate that here, it doesn't work as well. Here, whenever I have a meal with basically anyone, whether it be at my house or somebody else's house, immediately when the meal is over, people get up and start cleaning and start clearing, and then the next activity happens and people just like shuffle to another room. And I'm craving sobremesa so much, and it's something I only get when I'm at home.
Uno de mis mejores recuerdos y que es lo que no voy a poder olvidar es la sensación de libertad. Aquí pues no estoy en mi país y debido a mi situación migratoria es bastante complicado, siempre se vive con un poco de temor y allá pues en mi país eso no existía porque no pasaba la misma situación por la que uno suele pasar aquí.
La memoria de mi país que no voy a olvidar, ver que en el lugar donde yo estaba había muchos crímenes, violencias y pandillas, entonces siento que se queda grabado en la mente para momentos de la vida llegar a recordar algo tan mal.
My first day in the US was weird because I had a lot of mixed emotions and I felt strange, but I was happy because I finally, after a year and a half, I met my mom again, and it's like a piece of me came back to me.
Pues fueron bastante interesantes, los describiría, pues son sensaciones diferentes, sentimientos encontrados. Estás en un país nuevo, un país que te da oportunidades y a la vez uno se siente triste porque has dejado todo atrás, a tu familia, a tus amigos, tus pasatiempos. Todo es extraño y de alguna manera a la vez es emocionante.
Mi primer día en los Estados Unidos fue muy difícil, me sentía triste y a la vez emocionada por empezar nueva vida, nuevas experiencias en los Estados Unidos junto con mis hijos, y pues mi fortaleza era salir adelante siempre para darle lo mejor a mis hijos.
When I got here, I moved to Texas first, so one of my biggest challenges was learning the language because English is not my first language, it was Spanish. A lot of teachers obligated me to speak English. For example, whenever I wanted to use the bathroom, I would say it in Spanish, puedo usar el baño, but they would hit me with a ruler in my hand and they would correctly say, can I go to the bathroom? And that's the way I had to say it, and I had to learn it that way.
Bueno, yo tengo dos hijos, ¿verdad? Una hembra y un varón. Y yo en el futuro, pues yo espero de que ellos pues se preparen en una carrera, que se preparen pues que vayan a la universidad para que puedan tener un empleo mejor, que ellos puedan, o sea, salir adelante pues por sí solos.
I just want life to be simple. I want it to be easy. I want it to be full of love and life. And I just want, especially children, to wake up and their one responsibility being to go to school and learn about the world and have no other worries around them other than that.
Bueno, como padres creo que todos esperamos, ¿verdad?, para nuestros hijos que ellos tengan nuevas oportunidades, que puedan estudiar, que puedan triunfar en la vida y así pues para todas las generaciones, ¿verdad?
To me, the word home is mainly a feeling where I can express myself freely without being judged, some place where I can be myself and not having to constantly be judged for it.
Pues para mí el hogar es el lugar donde estás con tus seres queridos más cercanos, donde te sientes seguro, donde puedes expresar tus emociones y no tienes temor a que te vayan a juzgar o a ver mal. El hogar es el lugar donde siempre puedes refugiarte en tus días malos y donde te sientes a salvo, donde te sientes cómodo.
What does home mean to you?
Home means to me like, it means like when you come from and when you're gonna go back there. Like example, you come from somewhere that people don't know and you come here to work hard, for like giving back to the people who need it in your home. That's home mean. Like you come from somewhere like people don't understand. You come here to make a lot of money to work. After that, you're gonna go back home to buy your mom a land, and all that stuff.
For me, the word home is where you can be yourself without having to worry about anyone's opinion or not having to be constantly thinking what other people have to say when you speak or when you're yourself. You have to be yourself in order to feel like you're at home. Home can be anywhere as long as you feel you're being your truly self.
Home to me is a place where you can come together with your friends and your family and just be. But it also means to me a place where I can go and connect with people that are just like me And I feel a sense of comfortability with these people because I know that they understand what I'm going through, whether they know it or not, and whether I know it or not. We're all similar in that way. And that brings a sense of peace within myself, knowing that I'm not the only person that thinks and is like me.
Now that I am a lot older, I've worked really, really hard to understand my own identity, to understand what is it to be Chilena, what is it to speak Spanish, what is it to feel super proud of my home country, traditions, culture, and be a professional in the United States. And so I think this idea of owning my full self of my identity and aspects that make me who I am and being completely comfortable in my own skin, that I can be a CEO at a school and be proud to be Chilena, to have the roots, to have the memories, to have the sobremesa that I love. And I think that it took me a while to figure out that being my full self is the best way for me to show up. But it took learning who am I as a full self first.
Hogar significa para mí seguridad, armonía, tranquilidad y también de ahí tenemos respeto y muchos valores para el día a día.
Oh, my hope in the future is like to grow up, have my mom like everything he need, because like my dad, she be struggling for paying the rent. Like my dad want me to get a job, help him like pay him the rent. That's why like my dream is like to buy my mom and my dad like a house here, because like they don't have to like struggle for like paying the rent and all that stuff.
My hopes for my future in the US are being successful, keep helping my community, and work with the community, but also keep growing personally and be a better self, be a better version of me.
I believe that it's important for immigrants to have their stories told and heard, because I think that it gives people perspective on others' experiences. Even though maybe one person might not experience that, I think it's important for people to understand what it takes to come to this country and to go through some of the processes that many people did. It's not easy. If you have a kid or if you're going by yourself, the amount of persistence, resilience, and bravery that it takes to cross a border or cross a desert, those are things that people really had to go through. And I think that's something that this country sometimes forgets.
Every person has a story. Some begin in the country they call home, others begin the moment they leave it all behind. This is a collection of stories built from courage, strength, sacrifice, and voices, and what it truly means to start over.
I think it's important for immigrants to share their stories because it gives us a perspective on their lives, but it also gives us the perspective that they're really brave, and everything that they go through and everything we go through as human beings make us who we are, make us, that's how we walk through the world. And to see that people go through difficult time periods in their lives are really hard, and then still come out of it, and they might not realize it, but they are stronger than how they started, and that's really inspiring and that's really powerful, and that's important to us, and it gives us the opportunity to empathize.
We all come from somewhere. Roots shape who we are and where life takes us. Through Rooted, we hope to share the voices of immigrants whose stories deserve to be heard.
I think that there's so much stigma, especially now, with being a first-generation immigrant. I think that a lot of people are embarrassed to tell their story of how they came to the United States. Some people crossed the border, some people were on a visitor's visa, and some people were on a worker's visa. Some people were just coming for exploring and stayed. Like, there's so much fear in telling the story of what actually happens and why living in this country made more sense for them and their family. And I think that we need to make it more normalized. There's our country is made of immigrants. we're all here because we recognize the value in being here, in having access to education, in working and building community. We are the United States, and I think that it's incredibly valuable for each of us to be proud of our story, including those parts that we're afraid to tell. And it takes being brave to get others to join you in that. And once we are all in on that, we're a movement and we're a powerful group, and there's no stopping us. And so I believe that the work you're doing, your project, the Alzando las Voces, is the only way to make positive change for immigrants.
Immigration is often talked about through laws, politics, and statistics. But behind every headline is a person, a family, a dream, a sacrifice. People leave their homes for many reasons: to find opportunity, to reunite with loved ones, to escape danger, or simply to build a better future for the next generation. Their journeys are different, but they all begin with hope.